but I think their coach, Brian McDermott, realises that Justin Carney, you know, is such a powerful player. It's going to be difficult for young Handley to try to sort of keep hold of him. But if Leeds kick to Carney all the time and just let them push him down and tire the man out, he won't have the energy late in the game.
OK, great way to start our Good Friday coverage. Don't forget, it's Wigan and Saints later on. They kick off here in Wigan at 3 o'clock. But as you see, the players are emerging from the dressing rooms at the Menderhose Jungle. So it's time for commentary now. That's on the way. We've got Barry McDermott and Terry O'Connor, as we've already heard from, and they are seated alongside Bill Arthur.
Thanks, Eddie. Always a special atmosphere at the Menderhose Jungle when Leeds come to town, and just about a full house here for this game. Thankfully, the rain has relented. It started about 4 o'clock this morning, but it's dried up. Even a hint of brightness around the ground, and a shame that the pitch is going to get churned up. They were tweeting pictures of it yesterday, looking its usual immaculate self here at Castleford. But the rain certainly going to be a bit of a factor, but you can't put a dampener on what is always a great contest, and one that will be refereed today by Ben Thaler. Leeds, of course, approaching a period of upheaval and transition. Sinfield to Rugby Union, Peacock to management at Hull KR. They want to sign off in 2015 with a big statement, a big farewell. And Leeds currently top the first utility Super League table, and they can put a bit of distance between themselves and St Helens with an early afternoon win here. Saints coming up against the Wigan Warriors after this one. After the Castleford Tigers take on the Leeds Rhinos. Kevin Sinfield sitting this one out. And how he must be wishing he was out there on the field as Liam Finn gets us underway. Hardacre under the ball, and Jamie Peacock, who's seen it all before, drives the ball in. Get into them, chant the Castleford Tiger supporters, as if they needed any invitation.
No, I'm sure that they're going to get off the line. They're going to try and force some errors up here. You can see that the weather will be holding on the ground, or the rain, sorry. And some of these cast players need to have the game of the year. Very good home form, but when the Rhinos rock into town, you can't stand back and you can't wait for them to come at you.
Yes, Castleford with one win from their last 6 at home against the Leeds Rhinos know that they've got their work cut out here. But Leeds missing key players, maybe more vulnerable than they might normally be, but you'd have said that against Catalan Dragons last week in Perpignan. But the way they came back in that game didn't seem to be any hint of them being at a disadvantage with those players sitting on the sidelines.
But even with those players missing, Bill, the youngsters that come into the system have been there for a number of years, so they know when they buy into the culture. And looking out for a shot, young Stevie Ward and Justin Carney, one of the most influential players that Castleford have. And another shot as well. Singleton, another youngster.
No respect.
No, just get into him, get off the line and hit him with everything.
Millington getting the ball away. Brad Singleton starting this one, the young Cumbrian prop, and he really has shown absolutely no qualms about getting up in the face of his olders and betters.
Well, everybody talking about Jamie Peacock and how they're going to fill the space, fill the gap vacated by the great man, but Brad Singleton laying a marker down, and young Stevie Ward as well. 43 tackles in the match against Catalan last week, got the club's man of the match award, so he's certainly trying to, or establishing that rhythm that good players need. And Zach Hardacre, a local boy, getting a round of booze for his trouble.
Young Ash Handley taking the ball in then, the 22-year-old. This will be quite an eye-opener for him as well. Here is Carl Ablett. Steady away for him until Luke Gale comes in and finishes off the tackle for the Tigers. Here is Jamie Peacock. Peacock with his young gun at his shoulder, Singleton. Jamie Peacock in his last season before he heads into management with Hull Kingston Rovers. Maguire hoists that kick, doesn't get great depth in it. The ball goes backwards, then forwards. Play on, says the referee. Luke Dawn picks it up for the Castleford Tigers.
Well, that was just a basic set of 6 from Leeds Rhinos, and they know that they've got to get into that battle. They know they've got to get into that grind. They're not trying to do anything special. They're not trying to do anything fancy. Keep it around the ruck and look, force an error here like they have done. When you keep teams down here, they'll look to offload the ball because of the frustration. And Justin Carney tries to offload that ball in an impossible situation.
Well, that was intensity in defence. Justin Carney had every right to pass that ball, but young Singleton knows the pass is coming, pushes and moves on to Ash Gibson, who just can't grab hold of the ball. He's distracted, but 2 kicks, and both of them to James Clare's corner.
Here's Callum Watkins, one of the outstanding players so far in this Super League 20 season. Watkins, try scorer against the Catalan Dragons last week. Here's Jamie Peacock now, shoulder to the wheel for the Rhinos once again. Peacock plays the ball. Opportunity for Leeds here to open the scoring. Maguire, little show and go from him. He's gone. Is he over? Just managing to deny the Leeds captain. Short of the try line. Webster it was with the tackle. Hardacre back into the middle of the field to Stevie Ward. Ward straightens up, goes towards the try line. That's the 4th tackle as he plays the ball. Peacock, quick hands again, but the ball ricochets away and it's snapped up by Gale. Now then, has Gale got the legs? I don't think he has, but he's made great distance for the Castleford Tigers. And they get the penalty, and 10 minutes in the bin is the signal, and Hall protests his innocence. But an early sin binning for Ryan Hall as he desperately delayed the tackle. Luke Gale it was trying to get to his feet. Hall tried to delay him, and he spends 10 minutes in the sin bin.
Well, Leeds Rhinos pressuring Castleford's line, and Luke Gale, look at him. He's looking around, seeing if there's a teammate in a better position. He's tracked, he's pulled down by Ryan Hall. He just won't leave go, Ryan Hall. You can see straight away Ben Thaler, 10 minutes in the bin.
Well, what an opportunity this is for the Castleford Tigers now after Ryan Hall is sin-binned. Leads down to 12 men. Backtracking. The atmosphere already pretty intense. Goes up another notch. Finn. The crowd rises. The ball loops wide and it's forward before it reached Clare. And the Leeds players salute each other for the defence there, but the pass did the job for them.
Well, if there's any problem with that pass, it was just the execution, because the player was on. When the ball goes over the top here from Luke Gale, you can see that James Clare, well, there's nobody marking him, but it needs to hit him. It needs to be in front of him. It needs to be an easy catch, and they've missed an opportunity to score the opening try there.
Luke Gale, who got 2 tries and 2 goals in the win against Hull FC last week. As the Castleford Tigers get their season back on track. They did go into the Easter break 7th in the table. The results on Thursday night have seen them drop back down the table. It is that tight. Teams yo-yoing as they seek a top 8 finish before the season splits. 6 minutes gone already. We've had drama here with Ryan Hall's sin bin for the Leeds Rhinos.
Bill, and there's a danger when you play against 12 men. When somebody's in the sin bin or somebody's been sent off for the duration of the game, you feel sometimes that you have to play, you have to throw the ball around because you've got that numerical advantage. You don't, just take some energy away from them.
Trickery from Callum Watkins as he dodges his way infield. But Ollie Holmes makes the tackle. Unsung player for this Castleford Tigers side, ever present this season, Holmes. The kick comes in and Clare is back there to retrieve it for the Tigers, but it's a good chase from Leeds and it's led by Sutcliffe.
They'll be happy with that, Bill. And in terms of Castleford and what they're trying to do, I've been just taking a minute to watch the talk. When the ball is not in play and when players aren't involved in what's going on, what are they doing? And there's a lot of talk, a lot of communication, a lot of verbals, a lot of hand gestures. They look like they're fully focused for this, the Tigers.
Millington slipping. You can see how difficult the conditions are underfoot for some of these players. Scott Moore keeping it simple. Another player goes down. Nathan Massey not able to keep his feet. Gale hoists that one, and Hardacre underneath that one comfortably, under no great pressure. He is now, good chase.
Well, there's an orange wall in front of him. As soon as he catches that, Brian McDermott will be sending the message down to his team. That's a good run from Ash Hanley. Just stay composed, stay focused. Just think of the game plan of where we were going to get this Castleford side.
Up to the 40-metre line come the Leeds Rhinos. The whole side come focused by the look of things. Up to the halfway line now. Remaining come focused despite the fact that Ryan Hall is in the sin bin.
Move, Andy! Ready, boys. Hold it, Len. Oliver, ready. Go.
You need to in this sort of hothouse atmosphere. It's what makes Easter so special, these derby matches. And Maguire, well, as Steve-O said before the game, he's really having a big season already, Danny Maguire.
Well, he's thriving in the responsibility, and I tell you what he's done, he's managed the game. Coaches talk about game management. Let the clock tick down. Ryan Hall, of course, is off the pitch, serving that 10-minute sin bin. On all this, he's just eating the clock up. And Ryan Hall, who's a fantastic player, only got 2 tries so far in Super League 20.
Here's Ash Gibson, a former Leeds player.
Ready, Paul. Hold it, Paul.
A remarkable Leeds debut, in fact, got 22 points on his debut against Lee in 2005.
I played in the game, Bill. I remember this young, fresh-faced kid, and he's certainly not fresh-faced anymore. He's got the model looks as Ash, but very determined character and a good professional, and would love to get one over his former club today.
Is Luke Gale giving it some width? The Castleford Tigers, Leeds defending well. Gibson tackled just inside the whitewash. There's Jake Webster. Webster, that's a Hail Mary offload, and he's lucky it's gone backwards.
Is that
it's still going backwards. The referee hasn't wiped the tackle count clean.
Well, it should do.
And Finn eventually gets the ball wide to Shenton. And Shenton, lanky runner. Justin Carney, though, got the ball and the tacklers at the same time.
That could be a good battle, Shenton against Watkins.
Oh, you're offside!
Finn hoists the kick. Hardacre, though, plenty of time underneath that one.
Yeah, I'm sure Daryl Powell will have looked during the week and said we need to put it high and hanging with the conditions likely to be wet, the ball grease it, and we're seeing again lots of impact in the tackles. Hit the ball and hit it hard, but you can't kick the ball to Zach Hardacre without pressuring him. He'll eat and drink. He will eat them all day with no drink.
Peacock. Here's Paul Ayton now. Ayton, short ball, and Singleton was there to take the pass, but the Tigers defenders were waiting for him. Maguire stepping and then getting a good kick away with the outside of his boot. That was skillfully done.
Well, he's a very good player. You just can't get bored of doing the basics in rugby league. You've got to get to the end of your set to 6. You've got to come up with a good kick, find space, find the ground, and just come up with this relentless chase.
That's been knocked on, and Leeds will be making the most of this. They're one man down, and they're forcing errors.
Well, there's a couple of mistakes early on from Justin Carney. The big joust in the face of Sutcliffe. I think you can see that Hanley getting up quick. Carl Ablett not leaving one of the teammates to go up and just try and bring the big man Mantin down, who's on the touch.
Well, this is great news to start a Good Friday proceedings, because we've got a full house here at the Menderhose Jungle. Just been confirmed that they've shut the gates. They're actually turning people away on Weldon Road. The terracing packed, the old stand full.
Fabulous, isn't it, Bill?
Leeds coming forward now with Jamie Peacock.
Move! Line, boys! Move! Get on the line!
Paul Ayton, Maguire, Sutcliffe, Watkins back behind him. A no-look pass, if ever there was one. Here's Hanley bravely taking them on. He's not the biggest, he's quite a lean, lanky winger, is Ash Hanley. Sutcliffe. 3 in the tackle for the Castleford Tigers. It's the 5th. Maguire surely will kick. A little grubber kick. It ricochets. The last line of defence is Jamie Peacock.
Good covering.
At full back.
He was in the sweeper role then.
And Peacock.
Well, he wants to play every position before he finishes. At the end of the year, the kick from Danny Maguire just comes off. I think it was Scott Moore and Jamie Peacock. And here it is now, bringing the ball up into the heart of Castleford.
Just lurking in the background he was then.
Having a minute.
Here come the Rhinos now. Here's what Sutcliffe, and Sutcliffe has put that ball down, but he's knocked on, and it's a
restart on the 20. He'd done all the hard work. Tremendous work from Oliver Holmes. Never gives up on this tackle. You see him grasping, and he just manages to throw both of his arms around Liam Sutcliffe, who loses the ball. Fantastic goal line defence for the Cast Tigers last week. When I watched their match, it was in that part of the pitch where they seemed to put most focus. When you play against Leeds Rhinos, you know they've got Formula 1 race cars and they can score from all over the pitch, but they're also lethal in that 20-metre box. Well, now an opportunity for the Castleford Tigers to respond, and Luke Dawn drifting through the middle. Millington bounces off the first challenge. Oh, and then Moore puts the ball down, and an opportunity goes begging for the Castleford Tigers, and Scott Moore grimaces in frustration.
Yeah, talk about missed opportunity there, Scott Moore. Luke Dawn does all the hard work, the opportunist he is, and Grant Millington, he rides a tackle from Singleton, just offloads the ball, a nice little soft pass to Scott Moore, who takes his eye off the ball, but this is brilliant defence. Try scoring opportunity from Liam Sutcliffe. But Oliver Holmes, he was up to that challenge then.
Move, Oliver! Ready, Sky, hold it. Hold, boys.
And they have managed to see out this 10-minute period with Ryan Hall in the sin bin of Leeds without suffering any damage on the scoreboard.
Well done. Ready, wait.
There he is, waiting to return, the Leeds winger. Cuthbertson now.
Still got it. That's 3. Move, Oliver! Run!
Just the one signing Leeds made in the close season. It was that man, Adam Cuthbertson, and what a signing he has proved out to be for Brian McDermott.
Very good, mate. The most offloads in the Super League competition, been a very astute signing.
Ryan Hall back on. Leeds have a full number on board. They've got numbers on the boards. Joel Moon with the try. His first of the season. His first since June last year against the Catalan Dragons. The drought is over for Joel Moon. And no sooner do the Rhinos get back to 13 men on the field than Joel Moon just glides through a pretty large gap in the Castleford Tigers defence and gets Leeds on the scoreboard. Well, this was a desperate shame for the Cast Tigers. Hasn't he played well this year, Grant Millington? Can't collect the ball, Scott Moore. And what about soft hands here? A wonderful pass on the go from Peacock. Turned back inside. Exceptional play from Joel Moon. He gets in the corner. Joel Moon very much reminds me of a player that played for both clubs. Richie Blackmore has a lolloping style, almost stumbling when he's running. But on that occasion, he just collects the ball, pins his ears back and runs those 15 metres. It's been an even contest so far, but it's about holding on to the ball, and that's crucial for the Cast Tigers. Kevin Sinfield sitting this one out. Liam Sutcliffe with the goal-kicking duties. He's kicked 8 so far in Super League this season. No wind to disturb his aim, but he's pushed that one, or pulled that one, wide of the posts. But Leeds ahead by 4 points to 0 here at the Menderhose Jungle. Brian McDermott, inscrutable up in the stand. Well, as soon as they get the numbers, just have a little look. Jamie Peacock at the line, and then the turn-up play here from Singleton. That holds the Castleford defenders. They're looking inside him. They can't just drift out, and Joel Moon, well, he finds space on the edge. Obviously, they've got numbers now with Ryan Hall, so good play. Leeds Rhinos, whatever the conditions, they are willing to throw the ball around. His Super League debut, Joel Moon, was against Castleford Tigers for Salford 3 years ago, over 3 years ago.
That's a good shot from Grant Millington.
On Jamie Peacock. The only damage it seems to have done to him is loosening his boot. He just stands sort of disdainfully in back play, puts his boot back on and then gets back in the line.
Well, good old Jamie Peacock, he'll be made up with these conditions. It slows everyone down to his pace in the middle.
Can you imagine what he's going to be like in management?
Oh, I wouldn't like to work underneath him.
Here is Cuthbertson now. Offloads again. He's a compulsive offloader, Cuthbertson, and more often than not, it sticks.
Yeah, you're right. He's normally a calculated offload. That was like it was compulsive. He just got his arm free, passed it out there, and just unfortunately hits the deck. That's what I like about JP. Just straight, hard, direct.
I think that's what I meant. I think in management he's probably going to be exactly the same sort of thing.
And Bill, I was talking about Zach Hardacre and how he returns the ball. Well, Luke Dawn for the Castleford Tigers, he's just as devastating when he gets in the clear.
There's Justin Carney at the play of the ball. I was talking to him before the game and going through the names he's been called: the tank on the flank, the thing on the wing, the wedge on the edge. He doesn't really mind.
I'm just going to go with Justin in case he takes exception.
Exactly. Here's Andy Lynch now. Lynch and Peacock going toe-to-toe. Two great stalwarts of the game. Lynch, his 400th Super League appearance. That's a kick for Hanley. He's under pressure from Carney, but he takes it well, and Carney takes him.
Well, that's his first test, isn't it? He just had a little look down. He saw Justin Carney coming. This is where they need to be better now, Castleford. They get them up here, trap them down here. Leeds have excelled over the years in just turning the screw.
Ryan Hall, we've got two former Alton Raiders players on the wings. I think Handley, likewise, like Hall, in the days of his youth.
Well, Ash Hanley's just trying to find his pace, really. I've likened him to Pat Richards, and I think in time, Pat Richards could play centre, could play a winger, could play a fullback. I think Ash Hanley has the potential to do all three of those positions, but he's just trying to find his way on the wing for now.
Hardacre making his 99th Super League appearance in the side, despite this disciplinary cloud that's still hanging over him. Of course, this is the first of two big games this Good Friday. Wigan against St Helens, coming up 3 o'clock, Sky Sports 1. As soon as we've finished here at the Menderhose Jungle in this one, between the Castleford Tigers and the Leeds Rhinos. Leeds ahead after the first quarter by 4 points to 0. That one try scored by Joel Moon. Here's Lynch now. Cuthbertson with the tackle. It's hard going out there in the middle for these big front rowers. Millington plays the ball. Gale hoists the kick. Hardacre is underneath it. That ball's bounced down for Webster. Still on the last, says the referee. And it'll be the turnover. He couldn't make any headway, Jake Webster.
No, it was unfortunate nobody was with Jake Webster. The forwards are doing the job. Grant Millington, Andy Lynch, they're taking the ball forward. And if they know that if they can lay the platform, they've got the likes of Jake Webster, Luke Dawn, Ashley Gibson, who can score tries, and good pressure as well, that from James Clerk. Don't stand back and admire that kick. When it goes in the air, make it a contest.
Here we are, lads. Andy! Ready, guys, go.
Leeds with Hall.
Back.
Offloads to Delaney, who's on the field for the Leeds Rhinos. Singleton now gets the pass away to Cuthbertson, and Cuthbertson, superb offload to Moon. Moon, little dummy, he's got Maguire in support. Maguire has got the line ahead of him. Great tackle on him by Luke Dawn, it was, who just manages to clip his ankle. But they're still under pressure here. Cuthbertson gets the pass away superbly to Hall. He's back on the field. He's on the scoreboard for his 3rd try of the season. A shake of the head from Luke Gale. How did they do that? And take your hat off to Adam Cuthbertson. 2 offloads from him in that passage of play. Helped create that try for Ryan Hall. Leeds at their best there. It could have been Maguire. It was Hall in the end.
Well, that's the danger when you play lethal Leeds. They come from one end of the pitch to the other, and it was a brave pass at first from Singleton. Then it was to Cuthbertson, who releases Joel Moon. Castleford get back, they get back in numbers, and then all of a sudden Leeds, they're looking up, players coming from one side to the other. Cuthbertson notices that they're short. He flashes across the back, and he just offloads that ball. He rides the tackle, takes the Cast player out of the equation, and the 2nd try for Leeds Rhinos.
Well, when we take another look at that, I wonder whether it's the late retreat of Jake Webster that alerts all the Leeds players. They all flood to that side. And you're right, it's a fantastic two-handed offload from Cuthbertson. But Jake Webster might just get a nudge from his coach and say, listen, when we're on our goal line, get back as quick as you can. Rest in position, as they say.
Ryan Hall now with 20 tries against the Castleford Tigers. in his career. And Sutcliffe right out on that touchline with this conversion attempt, looking for his first success of the game. Looking to draw it in. That one looks more promising. Superb. The Leeds fans behind those posts salute Liam Sutcliffe. They're normally saluting Kevin Sittenfield, and he would have been proud of that one from the touchline. Ryan Hall with the try.
Well, it all came from that break, of course. And you see passes, you see risky passes, you think, isn't that player courageous? You don't throw that pass unless you've got a call outside you. And you see, as soon as it's there, as soon as the opportunity is there, then everybody's on the toes looking for a job to do. I said that Ryan Hall had only scored 2 tries so far. I had a feeling that he'd get on the score sheet today, and there he was, proving me right. I've wrote it down here in my notes.
Why didn't you say it then?
I did. It's in my notes.
Was that a look of approval from the Leeds coach there?
Yeah. He's got to be happy. They've been down to 12 men. They've scored 2 tries in a local derby. They know that they're going to be tested. But just look at that. They're just not afraid in these conditions. The forwards running in numbers. Is that a strip from Jake Webster? A penalty?
It is, Tez. You know, when you're passing in conditions like this, it's important that you don't pass close to the line. You don't give that player, as we see the strip, a pass is only a pass and a catch unless it's at the line. Then there's the anxiety and pressure of doing so. It's Ash Gibson and Jake Webster involved in the tackle, and that's cheap meters for the Rhinos. More pressure.
Brilliant pace to this game. That's the second penalty. Really no let-up. It's what you want from a Good Friday Super League game, unless you're a Castleford supporter at the moment, because they're trailing by 10 points to 0. But from the neutral point of view, it's been action all the way. Most of the action coming from the Leeds Rhinos. And they're looking for more points here. Castleford Tigers back on their own try line. Peacock. Hardacre, little dummy from him, gets to Delaney, he's over the line. Has he got that ball down? No. Referee Ben Thaler has a great view of that, held up, he says.
Tremendous work from Castleford. As I say, it was a real focus in their last game, get bodies underneath. You hear John Wells talk about it a lot. Don't get in a wrestling competition, just secure the ball.
Maguire, Sutcliffe now. Sutcliffe came close earlier on, looking for another opportunity. On the last now. Maguire standing back. Ayton Little grab a kick, too strong. They'll come back to the 20, and the Castleford Tigers will probably breathe a sigh of relief.
Well, he just drops it onto his toe. Cuthbertson's the man who's running up. Jamie Peacock. Probably those 2 players thought it was going to be a crash ball near the line. And then Justin Carney. The lad's looking after him. There's a problem with Sutcliffe, though, there. He goes in for the shot, and you can see him just clutching his hand.
Well, Justin Carney went to hand Sutcliffe off, who's already been handed off once in the game, as we see Stevie Ward getting his knee in the way. There's the penalty. But you see Sutcliffe down behind, he's holding his wrist or his forearm.
Interference was the call from referee Ben Thaler. Sutcliffe definitely struggling. This is a worry for Leeds. Kevin Sinfield already.
He's over here on the wing. He's just had the thumbs up from the physio, Andy Barker.
He's still clutching that right wrist as Castleford Tigers, with Adam Milner on the field, come forward, looking to try and respond to this great lead start. The Rhinos ahead by 10 points to 0. Lynch now. Lynch, a little dummy from him. Outrageous.
He's got it all.
About 11 metres out. Finn, little grabber kick from Finn. Shenton! They're in business. The Tigers are in business. Gets his 3rd try of the season, and Finn put it on a plate for him. And the perfect response from Darryl Powell's team. They've been on the ropes. They've taken a bit of punishment. They got the penalty, and they've made the most of the opportunity. Michael Shenton, his 3rd try of the season, the skipper. He's made a remarkable recovery from dislocating his shoulder in round 4 to be back within a game, and he's on the scoreboard.
Well, here's the penalty. Justin Carney doing what he does best. Challenging people, running hard, making them a account for him. And two of the top performers for Castleford this year have been Liam Finn and Luke Gale, and it's been that kicking game. Short, long, high, along the floor, puts it in exactly the spot where he wants it. And Liam Finn gets Castleford back into this game. And Michael Shenton is so important for the Tigers. Not only is he the captain, but last year, that glorious year last year when they finished 4th on the table, they were runners-up at Wembley. Michael Shenton had his best year getting in the dream team. So if he plays well, that's great signs.
Luke Gale. Oh, it might be Luke Gale if it goes over.
Could be. Goalie Gale.
Kicked 18 goals so far this season. He's on target with this one. Towards that terracing, packed with Castleford Tigers supporters. Their side has responded as they'd hoped. Tigers 6, Rhinos 10.
There's no doubt in Castleford as an attacking side. When they get some field position, they play with plenty of energy. Players pushing up, and Liam Finn, halfbacks have got to be brave these days, because when they go on up at the line, there's a lot of pressure from the inside, from the forwards. So a good kick and a good chase from Shenton.
Oh, that was a great shot. Stevie Ward.
Stevie Ward's been impressive for Leeds this season. We said last week on the Catalan Leeds commentary, he's got more physical presence about him this season.
He's always played that way, Bill, but he hasn't had the same meat on his bones, so he's broken his body a little bit, had some shoulder issues, but certainly in good form at the minute.
Ryan Boyle, he's had some injuries, a big knee injury last year, set him back, had 9 months out. Good to see him back in action.
And in these conditions as well, you target the ball like that Stevie Ward did on that occasion. Because it's slippy, hits under the ball, and you might force that mistake. Look at his chase here.
Well done, Ash Handley.
Well taken. Young Ash Handley, stand up, take the ball, because he wasn't pulling out on that one just in Carney, was he? He stayed on side, he was putting pressure on the youngster. Look at the focus, there you go.
And that was good work by Carney as well, because he kept his patience.
Well, that's the craft and the skill of playing on the wing, timing those tackles where your opposite number knows you're coming, but you time it so you don't give a penalty away.
Belting first half hour here at the Jungle. As Cuthbert said, he's done it again.
It's been excellent, hasn't it, Bill? Really enjoyed it. It's been excellent.
Here is Clare. Oh, and slips as he comes across the field.
Do you know, sometimes when the pitch is this heavy, as Cuthbertson with the offload, he just can't help himself at times. But sometimes when it is this boggy and it is slippy, you've got to pick out a defender in the line. You can't just go across the line and then hoping to step. When you're at a decent pace, you've got to make sure, pick somebody out, go straight, go direct, try and win play one before you play.
Matt Cook on the field for the Castleford Tigers. Second spell at this club, having been here on loan 7 years ago, Cook. Captain London Broncos through their horror season last year, came through it. Handley under pressure again and taking it again, but there was a shoulder. It was on Carney. I think it was Watkins.
It's Liam Sutcliffe. He runs across the path of the big winger. Just buys half a second for his winger. Just watch Liam Sutcliffe. Does his best job not to look, but backs into Justin Carney, leading try scorer in the competition. How soon will it be before we get him in a try scoring opportunity?
3-3 on the penalty count now, and the Tigers with an opportunity to maybe level the scores here, but that's good defence from Leeds. Referee calls held as Milner struggles to break free. Cook now. Good tackle by Mitch A. Church. Finn. Boyle. it's in this especially soggy part of the field they're in at the moment. Shenton, Finn, cross-field kick. James Clare is a tall winger. He's batted the ball down, but it's come up for Leeds.
Well, there was enough Castleford players in the vicinity then when that ball goes up. But there was no panic again. Jake Webster. Get off the line. Try and intimidate the opposition. It's easier said than done, though, to be fair.
Daryl Powell and Danny Orr alongside him, the Castleford Tigers management coaching partnership watching on. Half an hour gone. It's been a thunderous Super League clash between these two.
And Daryl Powell, Danny Orr, two local lads. They know exactly what it means to the locals round here, playing against Leeds Rhinos and trying to turn them over.
Maguire. Hoisted kick. Everybody looks to the grey skies. The ball's batted back to Peacock. Peacock bends his back. Hardacre with a kick. Handley will chase. And they'll come back and gather their breath as well, I think.
Well, Liam Finn was looking at that ball, and he was looking at the Leeds players, then looking back up at the ball, and he thought, no, let it bounce. Took a bit of a gamble on that occasion.
Ball's gone backwards, says the referee. Play on. Gibson will be grateful for that interpretation.
Again, hit under the ball belt. Get your shoulder in under the ball, you could dislodge it.
Cook keeping a tight clasp on it there for the Tigers, who are up to their 40-metre line. Jake Webster.
They might need to start kicking early, Castleford. You know, they're just coming up to the halfway line. When they're in situations like that, get out of your own red zone.
Dawn gets Ball and Watkins at the same time. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it was too slow, that Bill.
Finn does put the kick in. Whoa, Hardacre slithering towards the sidelines, make sure he comes back in field rapidly.
Well, they get the ball now. They're going to be playing it 35 metres away from the line. Just let's have a little look at how many metres they make. Good contact from Castleford. The wrestle's there. They're turning him on the back. Zach Hardacre pouches that ball. Unfortunately slips over. Again, the twos play. Jamie Peacock and Ryan Hall running at the line.
Paul Ayton, Maguire, Delaney now. Just inside the Castleford Tigers half. Joel Moon opened the scoring for the Rhinos here, who lead by 10 points to 6 now. Singleton. Good work from the former Barrow Island youngster. On the last. Sutcliffe recovered from that and knocked to his wrist. Ward. Oh, Peacock. He looked then as that ball went behind him, and you can see that. Oh, not again.
Somebody's going to have to tell him there's no bobbies anymore. He's not bobbying at the back.
Well, there's a problem with Oliver Holmes. Matt Cook was down as well.
Oh, he's in a bit of a discomfort, Holmes, but play continues. And Carney swatting aside the first one. Eventually, it's Watkins who gets a hold of him.
Well, on these heavy pitches, well, it takes a lot out of your legs, because obviously you're not playing above the ground. You're not just gliding across the ground like a young Barry McDermott used to do. What they're doing, it's a real slog, it's a real sludge at the minute. And Oliver Holmes, well, he's got the thumbs up, but I think he just wants to take a minute or two just to recover.
Great footwork a moment ago from Andy Lynch again. Cook. That's the 5th. Crowd calling for a high shot. We haven't had one so far. And says something about the discipline of these players. That's another teasing kick. This time it's batted back by Carney. Shenton keeps it alive. It's still on the last. Finn to Shenton. Shenton, Carney, and Carney puts the ball down. And Leeds survive. That ball's been knocked on. We'll take the first one. It'll be the turnover, says the referee, after all. Another breathless passage of play.
Well, I would have liked to see now young Ash Handley handled Justin Carney. If he catches this ball cleanly, what's he going to do? Callum Watkins just pull him back a bit, but I think Ash Handley, he's put himself where the action, hasn't he, in this first 35 minutes?
Well, they've targeted him, haven't they?
They've targeted him with the high kicks, and he's not back down to any of them.
Wait, boys.
And obviously just buying a bit of time. Both sides have played well in these conditions. They've controlled the ball.
Move it, Ashley.
Again, Leeds Rhinos, sometimes you just got to have that composure, and Darryl Powell knows that, the CAS coach.
They've been good in that part of the pitch of Leeds. They've managed to get out of their own half reasonably well.
The ball just behind Handley from Watkins. But the cover was there for the Castleford Tigers. Sutcliffe, Maguire, Mitch Achurch. Achurch finds Callum Watkins. Watkins, little skip and a step, trying to wrong foot the Tigers' defence. Shenton with the tackle. It was the 5th. Here is Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe stabs the grubber kick in. Ward will get there. Has Stevie Ward got that ball down? Referee looks to his touch judges. He doesn't need the services of the video refs. And Stevie Ward gets the touch on that to claim another try for the Rhinos. His 2nd try of the season. A season that is turning out to be quite a triumph. It's early days yet, but he is turning out to be a key figure for this Leeds Rhinos side. But a lovely little kick in a game that is being, to a certain extent, dictated by the kicking games. Let's set this try up.
Well, Casford had an opportunity up here. Michael Shenton trying to release the beast on the wing. And then down near the other line, you can see the change of direction. Stevie Ward, the youngster's got a real high work rate. Sutcliffe, nice little weighted kick. The urgency, the acceleration from Stevie Ward. Some quality play, some quality youngsters in the Leeds Rhinos ranks. And look at that, that is just sheer effort.
I think it's very smart recognition from Liam Sutcliffe. We just see Luke Dawn come into the picture late. He's got to anticipate the kick into Leeds' left, Castleford's right-hand corner. And Sutcliffe pulls it back against the grain. Great try.
So Sutcliffe, whose very delicate kick set up the try for Ward, improves on it, thumping that ball into the terracing where the Leeds fans salute. More points for their side, 16-6 the scoreline.
Well, Stevie Ward has to get past a number of defenders. He gets that ball down, but the body angle. Here we go, we'll have another look at it from this one.
You happy with that?
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I think a quality kick is rewarded, rightfully rewarded. As I say, Liam Sutcliffe, all his body was facing into that top corner, right on the outside of his foot, and just slotted it into the space. So a couple of really good kicks from Finn and Sutcliffe in this game.
Peacock, and you know, they're talking about a period of transition coming up for Leeds. Kevin Sinfield switching codes, Jamie Peacock taking on a desk instead of an opposition prop. But the likes of Stevie Ward, Liam Sutcliffe, now Ash Handley on this evidence.
Brad Singleton.
And
then bringing in Cuthbertson, who the transition hopefully will be seamless for the Leeds Rhinos club. Good players in good sides attract good youngsters, and that's what Leeds Rhinos have at the minute.
And here is Danny Maguire, who puts a little kick in, and Moon trying to work his way through some rush hour traffic there. Couldn't get to the ball, and the Tigers sweep it up. Coming up to the end of the first 40 minutes here, it's been end-to-end stuff. Some great defence, some great attacking play, great intensity from these two sides. What a way to start the Good Friday feast of Super League action on Sky Sports. Watkins with a tackle on Shenton. Finn, well, that ball away in front of him, and Gale is in trouble. Hooter will come to his rescue. But Brian McDermott can be satisfied with the work that his side have done. Leeds dominating the first 40 minutes here. The Castleford Tigers trailing at the break. Kevin Sinfield will be pretty happy with the work his colleagues have done. Leeds ahead by 16 points to 6.